Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video. This is a paid request for Ben. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested in requesting any type of videos, whether it be a topic, reaction, commentary, review, re-review, random topic, tier list ranking, video game playthrough, full one or an hour long, whatever the case may be, I'll get to as soon as I can if you want to send it. PayPal's usually the best bet. I do have a Patreon and a Cash App because people have asked about those. If you do send it through PayPal, it's best to use the family and friends option, otherwise PayPal takes a cut of it. And I'll get to it as soon as I can. Thank you so much, and really do appreciate it, so thank you. So this is The Fall Guy, the 2024 film that sadly did not do that well at the box office. Now, I will be honest, I think it was just that time when, just very cynical, at least for me personally, just very cynical on films. You know, there are films I've been let down. For example, John Wick 4. I know a lot of people love that film. I was just let down by that. Rambo 5 Last Blood. I mean, there's been films I've enjoyed. I mean, this director did Bullet Train, which I enjoyed. He did Deadpool 2, which I enjoyed. But it's one of those things that's just, with how things are, and it just leery for people to take more chances on movies. I can't really blame them. Can't really blame them. But sadly, sometimes films like this fall victim to it. Like when I went to Dredd. I saw Dredd back in the day with Carl Urban. Great experience, very fun film. But not a lot of people went and saw Dredd. And they either chalked it up to marketing, or they didn't know much of the source material, or it was something else altogether. But Dredd's an awesome movie. This was pretty good. I wouldn't say it's awesome. I wouldn't say I love it, but I liked it. It was a pretty fun movie. And David Leitch is becoming more and more a director I definitely intrigued by. He was one of the two directors of the first John Wick film. Now, I did not care for Atomic Blonde, but Bullet Train was a lot of fun. Deadpool 2 I thought was a lot of fun. And this is based on a TV show that I never saw, but it was a TV show in the 80s that lasted for a couple seasons. I don't know, was it 5 or so seasons? Called The Fall Guy, starring Lee Majors from The $6 Million Man. I think it was about a stuntman who was also a bounty hunter. And what's cool is they play the theme song at the end credits. Very catchy theme song. Hey, hey. But yeah, if anyone's ever seen the TV show, you let me know. Is it a good show? Is it a fun show? Just feel free to let me know. But this stars Ryan Gosling, Emily Blunt, Aaron Taylor Johnson, who is in Bullet Train, also directed by David Leitch. And the plot is Ryan Gosling is a stuntman. He's doing stunts for this action star played by Aaron Taylor Johnson. He's in love with this camera lady played by Emily Blunt, who I liked her in films like The Edge of Tomorrow, Sicario, among other movies. And this is definitely being a bit of a love letter to stuntman. And it's very stuntman in general, because there's a lot of action scenes done in camera. And that was kind of cool. At the end credits, they showed a lot of the behind the scenes of them actually filming these stunts and filming these dangerous sequences and these set pieces. And to be their little tip, their ode to how films used to be made. That's not to say there's no CGI, but much less so compared to your Marvel blockbuster film. And like I say, it's sad that this film didn't do well because it's an entertaining popcorn movie. I'm sure there's many smarter people that will come up with theories of why it bombed. Sometimes it's just how it goes. Shit happens. Now, Ryan Gosling, I was getting to the plot. One day he's doing a stunt, accident happens. 18 months later, he's still trying to deal with it, some back problems. He's a valet. He gets a phone call from a producer saying, hey, your former girlfriend is now going to direct her first film, and she's calling for you. But but then by the time he gets there, realizes he's been had. The producer just wanted him there. The former girlfriend, now director, doesn't want Ryan Gosling there. But the producer wants Ryan Gosling to go find this action star, Aaron Taylor Johnson. He's gone missing somewhere. Go find him. And you get this kind of like mystery angle going on. And I wouldn't say the plot was the most engaging for me. Like the looking for Aaron Taylor Johnson's character. I wouldn't say I was in love with the plot. I guess just because, I don't know, maybe I was hoping, expecting a story where both Ryan and Emily were both in on the action. So like Emily's doing stuff, and then Ryan Gosling having to do these crazy stunts, and they're working together. But not really. Because I've seen Emily Blunt in films like Edge of Tomorrow and Sicario and in other films, and she can handle herself a bit. So I was hoping for her to be a bit part of the action with Ryan Gosling. But no, for the most part, she's on the movie set, and it's kind of like two separate films. There's the movie being made, which is a sci-fi film, and the stunts going on during that movie production. And then there's the bit over here, Ryan Gosling trying to find this guy, and the little mishappenings that are going on because of that. But when the action scenes happen, you do have some very good stunt work. David Leitch definitely knows how to handle an action sequence. With those films I mentioned, this guy has a background in stunt work, and he knows how to make an action scene work fairly well. Ryan Gosling I enjoy as an actor. I liked him in Drive. I loved him in Blade Runner 2049. Even Fracture with him and Anthony Hopkins. I think he's a very good actor. And I think he, sadly, is not really a guy that sells movie tickets. And maybe that's another thing, is that he's not a box office draw. Yeah, Barbie made a lot of money because it was Barbie, not because of Ryan Gosling. Blade Runner 2049, I saw that in the theater. It was a wonderful theater experience, and that didn't do that well. And again, I saw that in the theater, so... And that's Blade Runner. I mean, Ryan Gosling's not a bankable star. I don't think he ever will be. I like him as an actor, but... To be fair, there's not really much of any bankable stars. Even Tom Cruise, The Last Mission Impossible, that didn't do as well as they wanted. That's why they had to change gears, and it was no longer directing part 1, it was now something else. If it made $1 billion or more, it would still be directing part 2, and probably would have come out by now. So, but anyway, I'm going off tangent. The movie did make me laugh quite a few times. Music-wise, there's a couple of decent bits of music. But the main music it's using, the main song... When we first see the film, it's I Was Made for Loving You by Kiss. Now, I don't mind the band Kiss. I like some of their songs. They're not a favorite of mine. I put AC/DC, Metallica, Megadeth, Linkin Park, Aerosmith, Creed. There's a lot of bands I put above Kiss. I actually thought the music used in the marketing was better than this. Because they make this song a big part of the production, where it opens the film, and then some of the score kind of is reminiscent of that song, and then there's a new cover version using a certain action set piece of that song. And it's not that I hate the song. I'm not going to say the song's awful, but it's not a favorite of mine. And I kind of wish they used the song in the marketing. You Give Love a Bad Name, or... the song by Journey, and I'm bad with it. I can't believe I forgot it, but any way you want it, that's the way you need it. Any way you want it. I wish that song was used, because the epic version you can find on YouTube, and then putting that in the score, I think that would have worked out a lot better for this. Journey I probably would have picked, but even Bon Jovi, which I love Bon Jovi, And I really like Journey, and I like them more than Kiss. So it's just a personal thing. If you're a diehard Kiss fan, you don't love it. If you're like me, I'm like, it's like, I wish they used something else. But that's like, the first kind of bump in the road for me. Like I said, I love the way the action scenes are handled when it's there. The stunt, like you see him as a stunt man and do this. You have this really cool explosion and flip and land in the mud, and the chemistry between Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt that's fantastic. It's easily one of the best parts of the movie. They work well together. They have great back and forth. Again, that's why I wish Emily was in on more of the action. I kind of wish it was the two of them working together with this mystery crime angle, and I wish it was the. I just wish it was more the two of them throughout the entire movie. I also don't like it when they put stuff in trailers and they don't put it in the movie. Like if you watch the second trailer, there's a bit about the two characters talk in a vehicle, but they have this fun rapport about make out. And I want to make out with you. Like it's a fun back and forth. That little bit in the trailer is not in the movie. There's a point where he's tied up. And he's like, "I'll never forget a fist." And he says something else. He's like, "No, that's not what I meant." I thought that was kind of funny in the trailer. That's not in the movie. There's a bit where his gun gets taken, and the trailer goes, "Shit." I don't think that's in the movie. Like the gun is taken, but his reaction I thought was a lot funnier in the trailer. I think they changed it up in the movie though. So I hate when they do that. And it's like the Beekeeper, where that guy's like, "It's flammable as fuck. Who knew?" But then they took it out of the damn movie. Or even Equalizer 2. You like Star Trek? I hate when they do that, because it's like, oh, that's kind of a fun moment. Then you take the shit out. It's like, don't do that. Then don't put it in the trailer in the first place. Anyway. But I will say this before I get into spoilers. If you like the director's other work, like Bullet Train and Deadpool 2, among other films, if you like Ryan Gosling, if you like a bit of an ode to old school stuntmen, if you like sort of this fun popcorn movie that's not meant to be taken serious, that definitely has a twinkle in its eye, and just wants to be entertaining, it's definitely for you. Again, I never watched the TV show, but if you're a big fan of the TV show, maybe you'd be disappointed because they don't really go with the bounty hunter angle that I believe was on the TV show, but I don't see this being egregious or anything that would make a fan of the show mad. Maybe I'm wrong. But I thought it was fun. But they did more into spoilers. Listen, I do like him being utilized as a stuntman, some of the stuff we get to see. I said I like the back and forth banter between Emily and Ryan Gosling. They seem like a cute couple in the film. Like I say, he's getting ready for a stunt, a high fall. He falls, it cuts away, we hear a scream, he gets hurt, and then it's 18 months later. He obviously didn't know how to deal with it, so him and Emily Blunt broke up. He's a valet. He's called by the producer. Like I said, his former girlfriend's now directing the film. Her name is Jodie. And he steals a guy's car as a valet who's being a prick, but just steers it and gives the car back to the guy. AC/DC's Thunderstruck is used. Now, I love AC/DC. I do like the song Thunderstruck. But there are times that when they use AC/DC music, I kind of wish they would use other music. It's like, I love Thunderstruck, but like, it's not like AC/DC did more than 3 songs. It's like, okay, it's Thunderstruck, Hell's Bells, or Shoot the Thrill. It's like they did other songs. Let's have You Should Be All Night Long. Or, well, I guess more Back to Black would be used more than Shoot the Thrill, so. But I mean, it's still nice to see AC/DC in there, so I can't complain too much. He gets over to where they're shooting the film. I kind of like that the girl, Jodie's shooting a sci-fi film, and we see kind of the backdrop of that, of the movie within the movie. And like you have these characters with these alien costumes on, and these big action set pieces they're filming for it. Like this bit where they're chasing on the beach and you have the explosion, the car flipping. Or there's a bit where his character's supposed to be on fire and he just blasts it and he flies backward to the wall. Did very good work with the practical capability of that. The other characters, I didn't mind the one guy who's kind of a buddy of Ryan Gosling, and he likes quoting lines from movies. Granted, sometimes they got a bit too much, but I did like the bit where he quotes Rocky Balboa actually. It's not about how hard you get hit. It's about how hard you keep moving forward. Like he says the whole quote, and then Ryan's like, "You can't quote Rocky on me. Come on, man. You can't quote Rocky on me." I thought that was fun. When it was getting to like, okay, I gotta quote Last of the Mohicans, it's okay, push it a bit too much. But I mean, he was a pretty good actor. Just they could tone down a little bit of that, the movie quote thing. But then he gets there, he realizes Emily Blunt did not want him there, and she's kind of working through her issues of how the relationship ended. And that's when the producer comes up and says, "Well, listen, actually, I got you here because I want you to help find this actor. We don't know where he's at. And if you don't, then it could ruin her movie. So Ryan Gosling's going to do this because he wants to help the love of his life get her movie made and her dreams fulfilled." So while Emily Blunt is making the film, he goes off and tries to find this guy. There's some fun stuff that does happen. Like I said, the plot to find the guy is not really the most full. Just something about that just went, okay, whatever. With that said, there's some entertaining bits among the journey where he goes by Aaron Taylor Johnson's place and the guy's girlfriend tries to attack Ryan Gosling with a sword. And they're going back and forth, maneuvering, blocking, getting out of the way, and then finally realizing, wait, is this a prop sword? Yeah, I love being in character. So everything's fine. Although if they did like, is this bitch like high on weed? Like not even weed, high on meth? Crack cocaine to be that exuberant? It's like, what the hell, lady? Calm down on the drugs. Or he goes to his club to get some answers. He gets drugged. So he fights the guys, but when he punches them, he sees sparks. So he fights this guy, but he's just seeing sparks here, and there, and it's like, whoa, okay. I thought that was kind of a neat idea visually to make it seem a bit different. Ryan Gosling, he was a big plus for the movie. Like I said, I do like the guy as an actor. I think he will do well in the action. I felt that way in... what was that movie? God, bad with names. It came out a year or so ago. Him and Chris Evans were in it. Oh my god. Someone's going to say in the comments, but I did like that movie. I'm just bad with names. But he can handle the action well, but at the same time, I thought he could handle comedy just as well. So when he's high, he's like talking to himself, "You're clearly high, Colt, and you're clearly chicken shit, so let's do this." And jumps out and gets hit by the car in order to stop the car. And then he's able to talk to the guy. How does this shit wear off? He's got a mouth guard in so the guy can't understand him. What are you saying? How does this shit wear off? What? How long does this wear off? Well, until you stop seeing weird stuff like unicorns. So there's a running joke where he keeps seeing the unicorn. There's the actual horse with a unicorn there. And that appears there a couple times. I thought that was kind of funny. Silly, yeah, but I thought it was kind of funny. I said the love story I thought worked because both of them had good chemistry. There's a nice bit utilizing the split screen where she asks him, "What do you think about me using a split screen? Is it just a gimmick or will it be super cool?" And then the two of them do a whole speech about the split screen while they're in the split screen, and kind of what they're doing is inadvertently mimicking the other, like putting their feet up or such. I thought that was very nice the way they timed it and the way it was filmed. I thought that was a very nice sequence that kind of helps their bond of these two characters. And then when Ryan Gosling gets back to on set, they're able to bond, and yeah, this kind of series of moments of seeing them how they work together, including this bit where she wants this one-shot fight scene, and he keeps doing stuff over and over again. They're laughing up. Not a big fan of the song that played during it. I don't know what song it was, but whatever it was, I was not big on it. That's one thing that I thought was a bit disappointing. I mean, other than Phil Collins' "Take a Look at Me Now" is used, and I don't mind that song. The Miami Vice theme gets played, which I thought was actually pretty nice. And there's a reason for it, which I'll get to. I thought was pretty cool. And then hearing the theme of the TV show at the end credits. But I thought the music for me personally was a bit disappointing. At least compared to other films of this ilk, other films that did try and utilize the old school flavor. Again, maybe just I'm not big on the Kiss song, so maybe that's the. But I said this song used during this, I don't remember what it was called, but I wasn't big on it. One thing leads to another. The one actor's personal assistant has some information on this phone, but she doesn't know how to unlock it. Ron Gosling gets there, but then there's bad guys there. He's supposed to be beating Emily Blunt for drinks, but he's got to be late. So the scene cuts from her realizing in her mind that Ryan Gosling ditched her. So she's singing the Phil Collins song. She's being more depressed. While it cuts to the action scene, it keeps coming back and forth. I kind of wish it didn't do that. I get why it's doing it, but it's just I'm getting so into the action scene. Then we're back to Emily Blunt being sad. Then I'm into the action scene. Then it's like, no, you have this action scene. Let me stick with it. Let me be centered on it. Don't keep cutting away back and forth. It just, I think it broke the momentum a bit too much. That's just me. I think maybe just have her start doing it as she starts singing, and then her voice becomes Phil Collins, and then just have the whole scene play out. That's just how I would do it. But that scene, again, does have some good action, stunt work, set pieces. There's a bit where it's like part of a garbage, not garbage truck, but I don't know what you call it. Like some other thing you put garbage in. It tips on its side, but it goes on the spin, and both Ryan Gosling and the bad guy are in it, and you see it spinning, all done for real in camera as they're punching back and forth and back and forth. There's another bit where he's riding on the side of it, riding, I forget what it is, some kind of, something that's sparking up. He's riding it and kind of skateboarding, surfing on it, road surfing, trying to get up ahead. And I thought that was, again, some nice stunt work. Oh, there's also a dog where it's a dog that was used on the film that can do commands. If you do the right command, it'll get someone of the balls. So it becomes a little bit of a sidekick for Ryan Gosling for a little bit, especially in this car chase bit. And I thought the dog was cute. I'm trying to remember, was it a Doberman or was it a German? I'm so bad with dog breeds. Forgive me on that. Was it German Shepherd? God, I'm so bad with that stuff. I think it was Doberman. I want to say that's what it was, but yeah, I'm bad with breeds. I'm trying to think. Oh yeah, they get the info. He gets with his buddy who works on the film, and again, spoilers, as I've been saying. They find out that the info is this guy, Aaron Taylor Johnson, was with a party with another stuntman, and Aaron accidentally killed the guy, and now he's covering it up. And Aaron's team wants to find that phone and shut people up who know too much about it. So you get a bit of an action scene where there's some high falls, you have a bit of fighting. Again, more decent like high fall stunt work. That's the bit where the guy, it's a prop gun, so there's no bullets, and Ryan has it on the guy, and the guy takes it away, but he doesn't know it's fake. But at the end of the trailer, when the guy took it, you had the shot where Ryan Gosling goes, "Shit!" I thought it was a funny reaction, but in the movie, I don't remember him doing that. At least, maybe I remember it wrong. If I'm not, then I think that was too bad. But one thing at least now, he gets caught. The bad guy, of course, explains what's going on. And one thing leads to another. They're trying to pour gasoline on him. He gets some in his mouth. Now, granted, there's not really any aftermath of that. Because, from what I understand, if you get gasoline in your mouth, you're fucked for a while. But, hey, it's a movie, I guess. But as they put the lighter, he spits it out. A little bit of CG, but it's stuff I can understand. And they use enough practical fire that I could forgive it. So he gets on the boat and he drives it. Now, this is where the Miami Vice theme plays. Because he has a Miami Vice jacket. And someone even asks, why do you have that jacket? I'm not sure if he's wearing it at this point. But at one point in the film, he does wear it. And he goes, oh, it was one of my first gigs. One of my first jobs was working Miami Vice. I thought that was kind of a nice little motif, little nod to put in there. And then they're playing the Miami Voice? What the fuck's Miami Voice? Miami Vice song as he's driving the boat. There's nothing too insane in terms of the action, but nicely done. Some pretty good maneuvers of jumping the boat over piers and stuff of that nature. He fakes his death by jumping off as it explodes. He's able to get to Emily Blunt, tell her what's going on. She's going to help and come up with this plan to get the bad guy to confess. Oh, one bit I thought was funny that I got going way back. When Ryan Gosling is on fire, and it's around that time, there's a bit where she's not big on Ryan Gosling, and she's trying to explain stuff to him, and he's trying to talk to her. Maybe it's not the bit where they're on fire, but it's one bit where they have a bullhorn. They each have a bullhorn. And they talk to each other, and then people are quiet, and then like an actor in an alien costume kind of, give me that. And he's like, it reminds me of the time when I was in love with my wife's sister. And so it was just funny because the visual of this guy in this alien costume. So I'm just visioning this alien costume being a cheating cuckold and cockle. Just, that's just me. I'm sure I'm the only one that laughed at. But I thought the timing and the visual just made me laugh on that. So I thought this was a fun film. When the action scenes happen, like you get some fights, but it's nothing insane. I don't know. Like Bullet Train, I thought like the story, the way the characters interacting, where the whole backdrop of Brad Pitt and how he's like either the unluckiest or actually the luckiest person out there, and that whole aspect, and him talking with Sandra Bullock, and like all this other stuff, the other supporting characters that like Aaron Taylor Johnson and his buddy, where they're brothers. it just made some more like fascinating bits of storytelling amongst the action. And then Deadpool 2 with how Ryan Reynolds approaches that character and Cable. I don't. It's not fair to compare with other David Leitch films, but it's just the story and elements just had a bit more oomph to it. Just something about it just made it stick out for me a tad more compared to this. Again, I think if Ryan and Emily were together for a good chunk of the film, I think that could have really benefited. And even like the finale is pretty much they set up this trap where Aaron Taylor Johnson wouldn't want you to do this stunt. So he's wired up, but he's a guy who always forgets he's wired up. Ryan Gosling takes a car. He's driving all wild and crazy, scaring the guy, while Aaron Taylor Johnson's people are being tapped by the stunt people, and they're kind of fighting with each other. Ryan Gosling's able to steer the guy, confess. The producer's in on it, tries to escape with the evidence. Ryan Gosling, that's where you get the one of the poster shots where it's the camera rig. She's in a vehicle while Ryan Gosling gets on top. Let me go higher. Jumps towards the helicopter. Bit of a fight. Decent little, back and forth fight going up and down and around. Fairly well shot. I do like the bit where he gives them the middle finger and does the high fall. Oh yeah, you find out that accident of the high fall was not his fault. Aaron Taylor Johnson actually did that on purpose 18 months ago. Things work out, they kiss, the movie's coming out, only this time with a different actor, Jason Momoa. I wish they picked a different guy, because I don't like Jason Momoa. I don't like the low-down, dirty shame version of Roman Reigns, but, that's just me. But yeah, they kiss, everything's fine, and you have the behind-the-scenes kind of making of the film with the Fall Guy TV show theme, which I thought was a very nice touch. And there's a mid-credit scene where I got a chuckle out of, with an appearance with Lee Majors, which is nice. But yeah, I would say, while there are other films I enjoyed more this year, Life After Fighting was such a nice surprise. The Beekeeper, I thought had a bit more consistent pacing. I thought that Beverly Hills Cop Axel F was surprisingly not bad in my opinion. It was great to see Eddie Murphy back on the horse, at least for one more time. I'd probably say I put those above this. But this would probably be in my top 5. It definitely helps with the chemistry of his two lead characters, his two lead performances. Fun action set pieces of stunt work. That nothing about them made me go, wow, this is mind-blowing. But in this age of we're in today, they were still refreshing to see. The story could have been a bit more intriguing or a bit more unique, but I thought it had enough charm and enough entertainment value to be still worth the time. The soundtrack, I would have picked other song choices throughout some of the scenes, whether it be, again, when he's trying to do the one-shot fight for Emily Blunt's character, or even the club scene when he's hitting people and seeing sparks, or at the very beginning, or even during the boat scene where it's a different version of I Was Made for Loving You. I was made for loving you, baby. Again, I thought the Journey and Bon Jovi songs used in the trailers were much better. I kind of wish those were utilized in this instead, but again, that's just me. Overall, though, this is a fun film. And sorry, I know it's a long as hell review, but it was fun for what it needed to be. That's just me, though. It was entertaining. Thanks once again, Ben. Take care, everyone, and we'll see you guys later. Bye-bye for now.